So I sort of have to be quiet because she's still sleeping. But we are on prep. 16 weeks out, 4 day of eating today. So in terms of macros, I don't know my macros simply because my meal plan changes on a day-to-day basis. So essentially, um, we do carb cycling. So basically, Monday, Tuesday, or 200 carb days. Wednesday, 400 carb days. Thursday, 600 carb days. And then we cycle that again. So we go 200, 200, 400, 600. Today is a 200 carb day, and for our first meal of the day. So on the meal plan, it says 2 scoops of whey isolate and half a cup of oats. I decided to go against that because I have a lot more time today. It's Sunday. That's why I'm filming on a Sunday, right? It's a bit. That's better. Yeah. So what was I saying? It is Sunday, so I have a little bit more time today in terms of like getting actual meals in. But here I have 2 whole eggs, and then I have 280 grams of egg whites, and then in this bowl we have cream of rice, which I usually don't like cream of rice, but I have to get used to it, especially while I'm on prep because I need to be able to switch the oats for something else. So 60 grams of cream of rice from Elevate. This is the blueberry flavor. I actually like it. I don't mind it. It just smells like blueberry. It doesn't taste like blueberry. And then I have some frozen berries in there just to cool it down. But first meal of the day going down on this full day of eating. And then today we have to go lift. We have a push day workout today. And then as well as we have to do groceries today for the week. We're only here for another week. Well, for a week and a few days before we travel again. So we're gonna get groceries for that, and then once we come back, I think our travels scale back a little bit. But let's do it. Full day eating. Right back into the groove. Let's have some fun. All right, guys. So we are going to head to Starbucks to grab coffee. Well, she's grabbing coffee. I'm gonna make coffee at home. And then we're gonna go to Costco to grab some groceries for the house. I think we have this week, and then the week after, we're only here up until Thursday. So, because we're traveling again. So, I'm gonna grab groceries for that, just so I can make sure that I'm on track with everything that I need. And then after that, we're gonna head home. When I come back home, I'm gonna eat my second meal of the day, and then we'll probably head out to the gym. The gym's about 30 minutes away because we're going to a different gym. So work out there. Today's a push day. I'm just gonna do like a montage of that and then come back. I'll probably pack my meal, my post-workout meal, just so I can eat in the car, and then show you guys everything else that I'm eating. Whenever I am on prep, I do this thing where if I bought coffee, I would always keep the cups, which it's very, very weird, but I think it's more of a psychological thing for me, where I don't have to buy coffee outside, and there's a lot less temptation because everybody knows I love a good croissant, you know? It's the French in me. So I figured this time around for prep, what I would do is I would just buy the little plastic coffee cups. I'm sure it's wasteful, and someone out there, all the earthy folks out there, will probably get mad at me, but sue me. So figured just buy one of these, buy the whole set, and make my own coffee at home, because then it's less wasteful. That's why I'm making this right now before we head to Starbucks, because then if I have this in hand, I'm far less likely to buy a coffee. I don't know why my Nespresso is not working, but I did put a sugar-free sweetener in here. Right now, all that stuff, I can have all that stuff. Sugar-free ketchup, sweeteners, all that stuff. But at some point, obviously, we'll start to scale back, especially once we're deep into prep. But this year is going to be an amazing prep because
Good morning, everyone.
Wait, there's a cover on the lens.
There is?
Why is it so dark?
You also have sunglasses on, Jerry. Anyways, I'm taking over his prep file today.
The camera a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting critiqued by the Mr. Cameraman. So, this is the second prep I get to watch Jerry go through, and I think it's super special. I think it's super special watching your partner go through a prep or even do this sport in general, just because he got me into it. So his first prep, I couldn't understand anything, because I've never done the sport, and I think if you've never done the sport, maybe you can't understand fully, the hunger, the tiredness, the fatigue, which will come, because right now he's 15 weeks out, so that's not kick in till later in prep. But I'm so proud of him. Any words?
So we are going to Starbucks, and then we have to go drop off some old clothes that we had in the trunk, and then we're gonna head to Jam Pack Sunday, and then we're gonna head to
Costco.
To Costco. And then we have to come back. Because we have a trip in 2 weeks, so I need to book the stay for that. Get that done, and then basically go work out. So we have to work out, and then we have to book our stay, all that stuff, and then get ready for the week as well, because we need to meal prep and everything else like that. But yeah, prep is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna get through this, and we're gonna look fucking shredded on stage, peeled.
Let's get it. We're on the way to get my coffee, so I need my coffee.
We are at Costco currently. They don't let you film in there, so I'm just gonna do a montage of everything that we're getting, and then we'll break everything down at home. The grocery store. This is basically everything is in bulk. We like to buy bulk just because it's going to last us longer, and then we don't have to make multiple trips to the grocery store. So we got chicken tenderloins just because they cook a lot faster, and I don't want to sit there and have to cook every single thing over and over again. Ground turkey, that's mostly for her. I'm not eating that. I'll probably eat that later on in prep. And then salmon, this is also for her because I can't have salmon. And then I got steak, very, very thinly cut, just because I also have steak in my diet as well as ground beef. So that allows me to kind of have some sort of variety throughout the week. Veggies, just got frozen veggies. Honestly, I don't really care for fresh veggies, especially while I'm in prep, just because it's a convenience thing, right? Frozen berries, those are for breakfast, so the oats or cream of rice in the morning. And then I also got ground beef here, which, like I talked about with the steak, I can kind of switch back and forth between those two. We got 24 eggs, so we got 2 of those, as well as egg whites right over here. We also got some parchment paper, just because then we can make our veggies in the oven that way. And then we also got a big thing of Coke Zero. So this essentially should last us about, honestly, a month genuinely. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 3 weeks, but we usually buy these, and then we'll buy stuff throughout the week that we need as needed, right? But that's pretty much it. And then sriracha, because you can't beat it. This is meal number 2. We have 6 ounces of steak. So the steak that I cooked is basically, I cooked it 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And this is, when you go to Costco, they have these prepackaged steak tips. Not steak tips, thinly sliced steaks that you can get. They're very low in fat, high in protein. So since we have that in the house, I figured I'll just make those. And then the vegetables that I made, yes, there's a little bit of oil in them, but for the sake of not being wasteful, I'm just gonna eat them for this week. And then next week we well, for this week, and then the week after that, we'll go off to, we'll start using vegetables that have absolutely no oil in them. But these vegetables taste great regardless because they're roasted and everything. And then of course, you can't beat it, sriracha. So 6 ounces of steak, 120 grams of rice, which is basically nothing, and then 1 cup of vegetables. And then always got to drink water next to me. So I'm going to eat this, and then I have my pre-workout meal, which is cream of rice. Blech. And then we'll head off to the gym to go work out. Time to make our pre-workout meal. So we have this. I had this in the morning. So we have this cream of rice by Elevate. I have half a cup of cream of rice and 2 scoops of protein. I'm gonna eat the cream of rice with some fruit just because I want like something to mask the taste of cream of rice just because I don't like it. And then I will drink my 2 scoops of protein on the way to the gym just because it's easier that way. And we'll mix our pre-workout drink. So like pump, pre-workout, and then at the gym I'll just film.
I talk to so many people like yourself.
Always. So one thing that's super important, obviously if you're watching this video, always be consistent with how you're weighing stuff. Just because if you don't want to weigh, so for example, if you're weighing like your proteins, weigh them cooked just because it's easier that way, versus like weighing them when they're not cooked and whatnot. Your dry products, you can weigh your rice cooked, of course, but things like this, like oats, cream of rice, you can weigh these dry because obviously once you put water on them, they'll fill back up. But it's just from a convenience standpoint, whatever format you pick to weigh your food, to track your food, stick with that format. You don't jump from format to format. So if you're weighing everything in ounces or in grams, stick with that as best as you can. All right, so this looks like absolutely nothing. There's quite literally nothing in here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's nothing in here at all. I'm gonna toss some water in there, cook it on the stove, and then just eat it. And that's pretty much it for our pre-workout meal. All right, guys, so time to make the pre-workout. So today is a push day. Obviously, I want to ensure that I get a good pump. So here, we're gonna go 1 scoop of pump. The smaller sugar cups, I usually use them strictly for like pre-workouts and pumps and stuff. And then half a scoop of this just because the the caffeine content is insane. So half a scoop of that. And then for an intra, I just have this orange squeeze. This is like the blackest thing you could do. I just have this orange squeeze intra from Ghost. This tastes like orange soda or like a creamsicle. Pause. But that's like the blackest thing you can do. But this tastes amazing. All I do is put this in my sugar cup with some ice, lots of water. Just sip that throughout my workout. But going to mix these up and then we'll head over to the gym.
body's craving carbs.
Alright, great workout at the gym. We just got back. So now for our post-workout meal, let's see, what do we have? So my meal plan changed as of today, but today stays the same. So now for the post-workout meal, which is meal 4, I have 6 ounces of chicken, 120 grams of jasmine rice, and then half a cup of veggies. So, and then the last 2 meals after that is basically it's the same format except meal 5 I have steak instead of chicken, and then the last meal of the day there's no carbs at all. And then tomorrow is a 300 carb day, so the carbs go up a little bit higher, which means that meal number 6 tomorrow I have a little bit more carbs, and then the day after that 400 carbs and then 600 carbs. So I'm gonna make that meal. I just got back from the gym. Ideally I should shower, but I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat that, shower, I need to get my laundry done and basically get set up for the rest of the week. So let's make that meal number 4. One thing that I always do for the sake of convenience, I just make everything ahead of time, just so when I get home I can just put it together, pop it in the microwave, done, and I don't have to think about it. Whether you're tracking in grams or in ounces, zero it out so you can get as accurate as you can possibly get. So that's 127 grams. That's 120 grams. And then just cut it up like that. So I feel is needed. Just probably like that. I think that's a good amount. That's a good amount to keep me full until the next. So eat this, splatter some sriracha on that bitch. Eat this, shower, start my laundry, hop in the shower, and then finish off the rest of the day with the last couple meals. I need to send out an onboarding for a client today. Meal number 5 going down. We have 6 ounces of steak. Like I said, this is the same steak that I get from Costco. It's in prepackaged already. You just pop it in the pan for literally like 1 minute and just cook it that way. So we got 6 ounces of this. I'm finishing this off just because I don't want it to go bad in the fridge, so I'd rather just eat this. And then I will make ground beef tomorrow for the rest of the week. Because I eat 2 red meat meals a day. Honestly, I'll just finish the whole thing at this point. Alright, so well, I said 6 ounces. That is 7.6 ounces. 120 grams of rice, which is quite literally nothing. I will probably have to make more rice just because I'm eating so much rice, but 120 grams of that. That'll be fine. Just a little bit of this. I think that should be good enough. This goes into the microwave. Have it in there for 3 minutes. Once that's done, eat that. And then we have one more meal, which is meal number 6. And then that's it for the day. Meal number 6 has no carbs, so it's strictly just chicken and vegetables. And then tomorrow, which tonight I'll probably have salmon instead, just because we have some salmon that I cooked a couple days ago. So I'd rather just have that, get it over with, so it's out of the fridge and out of sight. And then tomorrow I will make more chicken and more ground beef as well. But that's pretty much what I eat throughout the day. So let this heat up, put this stuff away, eat that meal. So my laundry's running right now. So once that's done, I'm gonna switch them over into the dryer. I did the client onboarding. It's literally just an email with an intake form, and have them do it, and as well as get them set up with their nutritional consult. But yeah, that's pretty much what a Sunday looks like. Everything is all set for the week. All my in-person training sessions, as well as my client check-in calls, as well as just regular client check-ins as well. But yeah, very, very standard day in the life. So let's eat this meal and then we'll talk over meal 6. Steak, veggies, rice. I feel like I'm gonna be saying this a lot throughout this prep, but that is exactly what you have to do when you are on prep, or if you're in a dieting phase. Obviously, you can have a little bit more fun with your meals and stuff. I don't want to, personally, I don't like to think that hard. I'd rather just have a set meal plan and I can just execute on it. Obviously, if I'm not in a prep or if I'm in the off season, I can have a little bit more fun, make different dishes, and if I have a little bit more time on my hands, I can do all those things. But the reality is, I don't like to think. I just want to get in, get out, and also in the off season, I usually just work off of macros because it just makes it easier for me, especially if I'm out and about and I want a cookie or a croissant or something, right? But during the in season, it's important to stay as disciplined as we possibly can. Obviously, using other tools like Diet Coke, any dieting tricks that you can utilize, especially as food starts to get low. Right now, food isn't all that low. It's at a perfect stage. But as we get deeper and deeper at the single digits, that's when food starts to get low, and that's where coffee, black coffee, becomes important. Diet Coke, things like that. But I'm gonna gouge down on this. Watch whatever I was gonna watch on YouTube. I just like watching YouTube videos because it gives me an idea of how to actually put together these videos. So, but yeah, I'm gonna gouge this, chill out. She's going to go watch Love Island at some bar or some like karaoke place. I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna stay at home and basically be like a house husband today. Last meal of the day. So I have here 6 ounces of. Make sure I don't turn this on. 6 ounces of salmon, and then I'm gonna go 1 cup of the veggies. I say 1 cup. I'm not gonna weigh it out. Some of the veggies that I'm having throughout the day, just for the sake of consistency. And then that's pretty much me done for the day. The last meal is always, typically on my 200 carb days, the last meal is always without any carbs. And then tomorrow I'll have carbs throughout the day, and then the day after, obviously. But that's pretty much how I eat throughout the day and train. Apparently, I have to train even on my highest carb day, which right now is 600. At some point, it's probably gonna get up to like 800, which to me that's a lot. Like that's a lot of food to get down. But we're gonna do all that we can to get the food down, because obviously we want to make sure that we look our best on stage and bring the absolute best package that we can bring. So I'm gonna eat this. That's pretty much it for this video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you do come across this video, just for the algorithm, just for support, algorithm, just for support, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.